New battery for the Cardinals. Andrew Knizner comes in to catch. And the closer for the Cardinals, Giovanni Gallegos, on to try and notch his 5th save of the year.
Boy, he's really emerged as quite a relief pitcher the last 2.5 seasons.
Started out his career with the Yankees, a couple of years with the Cardinals, and then inherited the closer's job the second half of last year, and he has run with it. Pete Alonso, Eduardo Escobar, and Robinson Cano will try and fight back for the Mets in the 9th. Mets have yet to be shut out this year. Pete has 2 of the Mets' 4 hits, both singles to right field against Miles Michaelis, who went 7 scoreless innings to a no decision. And it sees Cabrera, 1-2-3/8. He stands to get the win. Alonso lifts the first pitch out to center field, and Harrison Bader is right there waiting. 1 pitch, 1 out. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Eduardo Escobar, who is 1 for 3, had a pop fly single in front of Bader back in the 2nd. Escobar 0 for 5 in his career against Gallegos, who had 14 saves for the Cardinals last year, 4 already this year. And a fastball on the inside corner, a strike, 0-1.
Appeared in 73 games. He throws straight over the top, and hitters have said that it's a very sneaky fastball. He doesn't throw over 95, about 93 to 95.
He throws his slider a lot, 52% of the time. Bounce that one, and it's 1-1. When you talk about some veteran, legendary talent right there, Pujols, Wainwright, Molina.
Almost 60 years of service.
It's like an AARP maybe. 1-1 to Escobar with Cano on deck. And Escobar lines a base hit, and the Mets have life in the 9th. Second hit of the night for Eduardo Escobar, and the Mets will get the tying run to bat.
Comes back with the fastball and just nailed the center field up in the strike zone, and Escobar gets on top of it.
Well, this is a very important situation in the lengthy career of Robinson Cano, where at every point now it is a show me situation. Cano's gone 0 for 3 tonight. He's 7 for 37 to start the year, and the Mets need him here in the 9th. 1 out and 1 on. And Robbie takes a slider in the dirt, stopped by Knizner. 1-0.
It's funny how the game works, right, Gary? One big hit here, change your perception of Robinson and what he means to this team in the future. Good block by Knizner.
Knizner's been playing more and more this year with Molina at age 39. He's played well. Arcana on deck. Mets still have left-handed bats on the bench, including Dom Smith. And Cano swings over the top of that fastball, and it's 1-1. 30-year-old Giovanni Gallegos grew up in Mexico. You didn't know that. If you heard his walk-up music, you'd know.
Yeah.
Escobar at first with 1 out. Cano facing Gallegos for the first time in the regular season. And a good changeup by Gallegos to get ahead on Cano. 1-2.
Well, fastball, big slurve, and changeup. Pitch never got there. Cano way out in front.
Seems like Cano's been behind in the count this entire first 3 weeks of the season. Gallegos has him down in the count. 1-2. Cano on deck. And Cano watches wide. 2-2. That's trying to fight from behind down to their final 2 outs in St. Louis. Cano waiting on a 2-2 from Gallegos. And he lifts one to left. Over toward the line comes O'Neill. He has room and he makes the catch. And the Mets are down to their final out. So 2 out, and it's left to Mark Cano. And we have seen early in the season that Buck has no intention of batting for Cano in these spots. He's had opportunities to do that late in games against right-handers, but he has consistently stayed with Cano. He's hitting .300 for the year. Cano's 0 for 2 in his career against Gallegos. Tying run at the plate in a 2-0 game. Cano looking for his first home run as a Met. Timing is everything. Not holding against Escobar. He takes off, and he'll take second on defensive indifference as Cano takes a strike. So that takes away the force at second. And who run the batters is the guy standing in the batter's box. Jeff McNeil would be next if Cano can keep this game alive. Cano's been on base twice tonight, hit by a pitch in the second, walked in the seventh, the only walk Michaelis issued tonight. Oh, 1 from Gallegos, and he swings and misses, and now the Mets are down to their final strike. Cardinals beat the Mets 5 out of 7 last year. Mets struggled against the Central last season. They were 13-20 against the National League Central. Gallegos 1 strike away from locking this one down. Kisner and Gallegos get on the same page. Oh, 2 to Cano, and he bounces one, and Kisner gets the chest protector in front of it. 1-2.
Gallegos very deliberate here in the 9th inning. As many relievers tend to be, they're going to have to speed up their game though in the future.
When the pitch clock comes, that will all change. For now, Gallegos taking his time, getting ready to throw a 1-2 pitch to Cano. Escobar at second with 2 down. And Cano lays off, and it just missed. 2-2.
Nice take by Cano on a nasty breaking ball.
Steady diet of sliders from Giovanni Gallegos.
I always say if you're going to have a magical year, at times you're going to have to beat the other team's closer.
Miles Michaelis, terrific 7 innings tonight. Interested spectator looking on. Cano's worked his way back to 2-2. McNeil would be next. And Cano fouls it back. And pitch to hit there.
Better swing.
So Gallegos staying with his bread and butter. Does he throw him a high fastball now to change the equation?
You know, it's interesting. The catcher Kisner keeps moving inside and up to try to fool Cano, and then comes back for the breaking ball. Because you can always throw one up in the strike zone, and that's what Kisner's going to go talk to his pitcher about. And if you miss, then come back with a breaking ball.
The entire infield's going to group around them as well. So Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, Oliver Marmol, the first-year manager. Let Kisner do all the talking.
It's interesting having Kisner do the talking here late in the game. But Molina did his part, which it seems he always does against the Mets, starting that inning off with a base hit.
Well, and Kisner's also learned plenty at the knee of Molina over the last couple of years. Cano giving a good accounting of himself in this at bat. This will be the 6th pitch from Gallegos. 2-2 coming. In the dirt, another slider, and it's 3-2.
I mean, that wasn't even close. What did they have to talk about in that discussion to produce that pitch?
So Cano's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. If he can get aboard, then the Mets would have the tying runs on base for McNeil, who's had the only extra base hit for the Mets tonight. Seventh pitch of the at bat from Gallegos to Cano. And Mark asks for time.
I've seen this from Cano. I've not watched him play enough, but I've seen this from him in big at bats. He takes his time as well.
He's also a guy who sees a lot of pitches, among the league leaders every year in pitches per plate appearance. And here's another one. Worked a 3-2 count for a walk his last time up. 3-2 count here with the Mets down to their final strike.
No pitch count for the Cardinals.
Three-two from Gallegos, and he hits it on the ground behind third. Arenado will make the sidearm throw high, and it sails away. Escobar scores. Cano took the turn, but he goes back to first. The game continues. Arenado throws one away. It's 2-1, and the Mets on the tying run at first base. That's the last thing in the world you expect to happen with 2 out in the 9th inning.
Well, he made it a tougher play by watch how many steps he takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps before he releases that ball. You got to make that release in 2 steps or less. And that throw not even close.
It's got to be an error all the way. Good throw would have made it. Travis Jankowski will run for Cano at first base, carrying the tying run. So an error on Nolan Arenado brings in the Mets' first run of the game. And now they've got the tying run at first with Jeff McNeil coming up. Jankowski running for Cano.
I mean, the only thing I can think about is maybe he couldn't get the grip. That's why he got extra steps.
McNeil is 1 for 3, had an opposite field double back in the 5th. So the Mets get some good fortune. Now they'll try and take advantage with McNeil. What an at bat though by Cano.
Oh, great. Just to put the ball in play. Good things can happen. You never know.
McNeil 0 for 4 in his career against Gallegos.
Molina not behind the plate. Do you take a chance?
Well, that's an interesting question, right? Jankowski 2 steals. He's not been caught. You know Gallegos is paying him attention. McNeil takes a fastball for a strike. So after all those breaking pitches to Cano, he throws a first pitch fastball to McNeil.
He likes the fastball changeup mix to the lefties, fastball breaking ball to the righties. He takes forever to deliver the ball to first base. So their time on him is got to tell Jankowski he can go.
Didn't go on the first pitch. Dom Smith is out on deck to bat for Tomas Nido if McNeil can keep this going. That's working with their back against the wall. Tying run at first, 2 out. And McNeil rips one into right field for a base hit. Jankowski on his way to third. Tracking it down is Carlson. Jankowski will be held at third by Joey Cora. It's a double for Jeff McNeil. And the Mets have the tying and lead runs in scoring position with Dom Smith coming up to pinch hit. Big hit for Jeff McNeil. His second double of the night.
Watch the swing here. Changeup, right? Fastball in, changeup away. And McNeil lines it down the right field line. Now, Carlson was playing in the right center gap, so it took him forever to get here. And if he had muffed it up at all, Cora was going to send Jankowski.
Boy, it had to be a tough decision for Joey Cora. You'd love to send him here if you can.
He was flying, hoping to maybe get Cora okay to go. And watch the swing. Just right on plane on that changeup. Caught it a little off the end, but well placed.
Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, out at the mound talking with his closer Gallegos, who looked like he had this game wrapped up on the ground ball to Arenado, but Arenado throwing it away for an error. McNeil with the double, and you can see Jankowski was not yet at third when Carlson fielded that ball.
If Carlson had not fielded it cleanly, though, Cora had the option to send him.
So now it's Dom Smith, where a base hit could give the Mets the lead. Jankowski the tying run at third. McNeil the go-ahead run at second. And Dom up in a big spot. He DH'd on Saturday, went 1 for 4 with a double. Those were his last at bats. Second and third and 2 out. Mets down a run in the ninth. And Dom turns away from a first pitch fastball. It's in for a strike. Dom is 0 for 2 in his career against Giovanni Gallegos. It's been a rough start to the season for Dom. The playing time has been sparse, but a chance to make a big impact here with a 2-out hit.
Second pitch to McNeil after the fastball in was a changeup. Does he throw that pitch or come back with a fastball in?
Another fastball. This one misses inside. It's a ball and a strike.
I think the way Dominic took that first fastball for a strike, you had to come back in.
Cardinals get a left-hander up in the bullpen. You got another left-hand hitter on deck in Brandon Nimmo. Edwin Diaz getting ready just in case this game goes to the bottom of the ninth.
20 pitches now for Gallegos.
2 hits in the inning. The Mets need 1 more. 1-1 to Dom Smith. And Dom pulls one over the bag. Goldschmidt with a sprawling stop. The race to the bag. And Dom is safe. And 2-run score. And the Mets take the lead. Unbelievable. Goldschmidt with a great play, but Gallegos slow getting off the mound. And Dom Smith beat him to the bag. Jankowski and McNeil both race home. And the Mets lead it 3-2 in the ninth. Absolutely unbelievable.
Gallegos came back in with the fastball, pulled down the line, took a bad hop on Goldschmidt, but he made an unbelievable play. But Gallegos was caught spectating, and with the dive by Dominic Smith, his hand beat the foot of Gallegos. And what are you taught as a pitcher when runners are on second and third? If you don't make the play at first, you wheel around and look for that runner. Gallegos never did that. Sold out on the play. Once it was called safe, he was caught spectating for the second time, and the Mets scored 2 on it.
And McNeil never stopped coming around third. Jankowski came in with the tying run And once Dom was safe at first base, McNeil was able to cross the plate with the go-ahead run before Gallegos realized it and threw it home to Kisner. The Mets rallied for 3 runs with 2 out in the top of the 9th to take the lead. And the Cardinals are going to pull their closer and bring in the left-hander to face Brandon Nimmo. What an incredible turn of events in the 9th. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Brandon Nimmo crashes one down the right field line just inside the foul pole for a 2-run homer on the first pitch thrown by T.J. McFarland. This is now a 5-run top of the 9th inning, and the Mets lead it 5-2.
Marlins brought the left-hander to face Nimmo. On his first pitch, Nimmo gets him for a 2-run home run. What an inning by the Mets.
5 unearned runs with 2 out in the top of the 9th. After Nolan Arenado's throwing error opened the door, the Mets have come crashing through.
The veteran over 300 games, McFarland, looked like a little change up in the middle of the plate.
We have seen a lot of wild things happen over our years together, Ronnie.
Yeah.
This is as crazy a 9th inning as we've seen in forever. 2 out and a runner at second. Looked like the game was over on a ground ball to Arenado. He throws it away. McNeil with a double. Smith with the infield hit when the pitcher didn't cover. And now Nimmo a 2-run homer. McFarland with a changeup gets a strike on Marte, and it's 1-2.
And quickly.
That's we're down to their final strike. Cano worked that great at bat before hitting the ground ball that Arenado threw away. So a lot of contributions in this inning. Marte's called out on strikes to end it, but the Mets score 5 unearned runs in the top of the 9th. And they will turn it over to Edwin Diaz for the save opportunity. What an incredible 9th inning for the New York Mets. 5-2 going to the bottom of the 9th.